still getting views, which is great.
Thank you.
Get in the car. Doing our podcast is expensive.
Yeah.
We can't afford real cameras.
No.
We're using iPhones. You son of a bitch. Thank you for watching.
Clocked Out Chronicles.
Well, guys, welcome to another shitty episode. Today we have a special guest on, so it is going to be Shayle from TikTok, also known as the Muscle Mommy. And so we did it over Zoom, and I really hope you'll enjoy this style of podcasting. This is something new I'm testing with, and we're going to roll with it and see how it goes, and I really hope y'all enjoy that. I'm going to put the links for Shayle down in the description. Go give her a follow. At 200,000 followers on TikTok, she is going to crush a watermelon with her thighs. So, really hope y'all enjoy the episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate it. If you're recording, do you want to do an intro or anything? Because I'll just do mine at the end.
Sure. My podcast is called The Muscle and the Mommy. I usually do it with Mama Berica, who is my actual mother. And today I am on another person's podcast, if you want to introduce yourself as well.
I'm Chase. I host the podcast Clocked Out Chronicles. We upload episodes every Monday, just trying to bring joy, happiness, and laughs to people all around.
Nice. So yeah, I will be guest starring in his podcast today, and yeah, let's get into it. Whatever you want to do.
First thing I want to talk about is all the Star Wars behind you. I dig it.
This is my mom's office. It's also our podcast studio, and she has a bit of an obsession, just a little bit.
Oh, I dig it. I'm a big Star Wars fan myself. I'm not sure if you've seen our normal podcast. Of course, this one isn't normal, but behind me on this bookshelf, I've got Funko Pops of Star Wars, all kinds of Marvel stuff. And so
Nice.
I love the Star Wars, and I think it's really cool, all the paintings, pictures, and I see the baby Yodas.
Oh yeah, and then I actually hand painted this Ahsoka painting up there for her.
Dang.
Yeah. That was
That's
like
really
3
cool.
years ago, though. I can't do that anymore. I've lost the skill. I have stopped practicing. Don't ask me to paint anything. I can't.
You got more talent than me. Mine would be a stick figure.
Oh, I'm surprised that one wasn't a stick figure. I think that's the best painting that I've ever put out.
Well, that's awesome. But what made you and your mom want to do a podcast?
I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while. I have a few inspirations that kind of egged me into it. One of them is the Key Nutrition podcast. I actually went up to, they live in Salt Lake City. I went up there and had coffee with the co-host Michelle and started kind of talking to her about what my goals were in the next few years and how I was like thinking about starting a podcast. And she was like, do it this week. Like, I want to hear an episode come out this week. And I was like, how do I even do that? So I spent the rest of the week researching free platforms to put it out on, how to record, what I needed. I ended up having most of the supplies that I need to record, like the microphone and the headphones from, I streamed a little bit during COVID. And so I had the stuff already, and I was like, I can do this. And then I recorded one episode by myself, and I absolutely hated it. Like, it did not turn out good. I was like, I need a co-host. My mom is willing to do it with me. It would be really funny to call it the Muscle and the Mommy, because like the Muscle Mommy terms in the gym are everywhere. I was like, let's play off of that. It's her and me. And she gives a little bit more of like the day-to-day person, the person that's not in the bodybuilding lifestyle. She gives that aspect to the podcast, whereas I'm more of the like information and practical application of that diet, nutrition, exercise, like that bodybuilding aspect. So she rounds me out pretty well.
Okay. That's awesome. I loved the name of it. I think that was super cool.
Thanks.
And unique, because of course on TikTok, the muscle, like you said, the Muscle Mommy stuff, I think it's funny, and it's a great little, the way you did it, the Muscle and the Mommy, I think that's really cool.
Thank you. So I had so many other nicknames that I wanted to use, and she would not let me. They were kind of inappropriate.
Oh, you gotta love moms. They don't get the
Oh,
jokes.
yeah. And she slaps me every time I swear on the podcast. And I'm like, I say damn. And she's like,
But so do y'all just do audio? Because I just saw y'all on Spotify. Do y'all do YouTube or anything like that?
I'm trying to get into it. I want to get a camera within the next month and start uploading on YouTube, whether that's like I usually record everything on my phone,
Uh-huh.
but with storage on my phone is very, very small and it yells at me all the time to delete stuff. So recording like an hour's worth of a podcast is not really practical, but I do want to get a camera up in the next month or two and start uploading these on YouTube and like have a good quality YouTube channel for
Yeah.
these to be on, but we're not there yet.
See, I started uploading this on YouTube, and what I used is I started out with my iPhone, and then eventually that was the first episode. The second episode, we did 3 cameras, my old iPhone 10, an iPad, and my current phone.
Dang,
And
nice.
so as we've gone on, we're on episode 11 now, and
Nice.
we're down to 2 cameras. So we just use my iPhone and an iPad, and that seems to work really well. I did have to buy a terabyte of iCloud storage.
Yeah.
And so that's the only way I was able to make it work. But so far for us, I think we can get it in 10, I think it's 1080p HD. So you can't get 4K, but
Yeah.
pretty high quality. And we're just now venturing into the Spotify and all that kind of stuff. I think we're working on Podcasters, which is Spotify's, it's Anchor.
Yeah, that's what I
Get it.
use.
Yeah, getting them
Yeah.
on all the platforms. So I,
Nice.
in my honest opinion, if you wanted to try video, I would just throw your iPhone up. That way you don't waste the money on a camera at first.
Yeah, but I also really want a camera and it's kind of my excuse to buy one.
Well, then there you go. I would do it then.
Yeah, I've been looking at it's like the Sony ZV-1. It's the camera for bloggers or YouTube creators. Like it has the microphone built on top and like sound quality is great, but it's like $600 or $700 depending on where you buy it. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. We're cheap over here, so
I'm trying to be as cheap as I can.
oh, I understand. It's tough, and I'm hoping eventually we can make some money off this so we can invest in stuff like that. But
Mhm.
for right now, I'm good with the cheap. We're just here to have fun.
Absolutely.
But so with your podcast with your mom, how often are y'all uploading? Are y'all doing
About
it
once a week,
Uh-huh.
usually like Wednesdays at 7 Pacific Standard Time is usually when it comes out. We did take a break last week for 4th of July, which was our first break since we've started the podcast.
Uh-huh.
But everything was so crazy last week, so we were just like, we'll put it on hold.
Well, hey, everybody needs a break every once in a while. So I get it.
Amen. Absolutely.
But that's good that y'all are pretty consistent with it.
Yeah.
I just saw it today that y'all had one. And so I'm gonna have to take a listen to it. So
Thank you.
but that's awesome. I think that
Thanks.
my mom, she's not really into that kind of stuff. She's to herself. And I bet for me, that seems like it'd be enjoyable because you get at least an hour at a time to just hang out with your mom and have fun.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's been a bonding experience for both of us, and I'm very grateful that she's been open to this. She's not like the most like fitness guru mom ever, but she gives a good
Uh-huh.
perspective of like the day to day, and she makes sure that I'm not being too like bodybuilder about things. She's like, people aren't going to understand that. You have to put it in everyday terms. I'm like, oh, okay, back up a little bit, rephrase, go back in. Yeah, she keeps it understandable for the masses.
Well, that's good. And I, I see what she's trying to do because even with me, whenever I talk to somebody that doesn't get the internet stuff,
Yeah.
I can start talking in terms that I know that I would think everybody would understand, and nobody understands it.
Yeah.
It's good. I think that's good that she's there because to kind of help everybody understand that way, everybody's not confused.
Yeah. She gives a little bit of softness to it as well. Because I usually
Yeah.
come in and I'm like, do your diet, track your macros, do this, do that, do this. And it's very
Uh-huh.
like by the books. And then she's like, yeah, but people need to eat burgers every once in a while. And I'm like, oh yeah, they kind of do. Like the actual like it's okay to go and have a donut every once in a while. It's about moderation. She gives that aspect where I'm just like macros, like eat what serves you, like get your macros in, get your food in, make sure you're eating protein. She's like, hey,
Yeah.
have a donut.
So what got you into the bodybuilding and into the gym life like that?
I have always been very like into sports. I played water polo from my freshman year of high school to my like the end of my college. So about what 6 years I played, and I've been coaching for 5 of those years on club teams or high school teams. I coach for a college in the area now. Like I have always been into fitness and strength training and just being athletic. So when COVID hit, it shut everything down. No gyms were open. No one had access to any equipment because everyone was buying it up. And so I got really, really like, I kind of settled down and I was like, all right, I'll eat marshmallows on my couch and play World of Warcraft for 8 hours a day and then go to bed and wake up the next day and do the same thing again because you couldn't like go outside. I live in California, by the way. Los Angeles was crazy during COVID. Like
Yeah.
you could not go on hikes. It was awful. But when it all ended and shut down and all the gyms opened up again, I kind of like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't like this. I was the heaviest I've ever been. I was the most unhealthy I had ever been. I like couldn't breathe on hikes. I was like, what the crap happened? Because for 6 years prior, I was athletic and I could hike without getting winded and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, I kind of need a game changer. Started going to the gym again, fell in love with that, and then started looking for ways that I could make it competitive with myself. And so I was like, okay, well, how much weight can I put on the bar? How much can I lift? How much can I push myself in the gym? Started competing with myself. And then I was like, all right, but I want to compete with others as well. And then I was approached by my coach. His name is DJ. And he was like, hey, when are you going to do a bodybuilding competition? And I was like, never. Like, I'm never going to step on stage. I'm never going to do that. That's like bikinis and frill, and all of them wear high heels. And it's all like, I'm pretty and muscly, instead of like, I wanted to be like the guy bodybuilders that go up on stage and they're like just massive. Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to be like a bikini bodybuilder. He's like, you don't have to be a bikini bodybuilder. Let's put you in figure, which is a lot more like you're bigger muscled. They're looking more into aesthetic as opposed to like how pretty you are in a bikini on stage. And I was like, okay, I can do this. So he helped me prep for my first competition. I got on stage for the first time. I loved it. And I was like, I want to do this again. And ever since that moment where he was like, you're competing, I have been like, okay, how can I make my physique better? How can I eat better? How can I do this? How can I educate the people around me who want to do this as well? And just kept that ball rolling. And I'm not going to do another competition for at least a year. Like I want to grow personally. I want to put on more muscle mass, but that competitive spirit that I have that has put me through athletics and put me through weight training, it's now focused on bodybuilding as well.
Yeah. See, and I like your content because, of course, it's inspiring, but you add a comedy value to it. Like you've been doing a lot of the what do you call him, pretty boy?
Oh yeah, pretty boy Jace. I love
Yes.
him. He's so cute.
And so I love the aspect of that because it's inspiring, but it's also comedic.
Mhm.
And so I really like that. It's a lot more relatable rather than just straight bodybuilding. You're adding some
Yeah.
fun to it.
Yeah, and I want to show people that the gym, like, yes, it's a scary place when you're just walking in the first time, but like every single person in that gym has walked in their very first time and been scared to death of judgment or people not liking them. And then there's people like Jason there, pretty boy, who
Uh-huh.
are just like accepting of everyone no matter what. Like he is the most accurate example as to what kind of people you will find in that setting. And there
Yeah.
are the a-holes that mess everything up, and there are the a-holes that make people feel uncomfortable, but a majority of the people in there are people like Jace.
Yeah. I think that's awesome that I think it's cool that you're building that relationship with people in there, because during COVID, I found a gym that was open and invited people to come in. They were constantly sanitizing, and I
Mhm.
got real big into it. And I got the
Nice.
biggest I'd ever been. Because growing up, I was tiny. And so I got into eating healthier, just stacking weight. And in a year and a half or 2 years, I think I put on 45 or 50 pounds.
Dang.
And so,
Nice.
of course, since I've started this, I've really slacked on it. But uh I enjoyed it so much. And that's why I liked your content, because I thought it was really cool, because I never would have thought about doing content like that.
Mhm.
Because the only content I've seen based around the gym is people like, have you seen Noel? I can never pronounce his last name.
Yeah, yeah.
His is more inspiring, but I've never seen anything with like comedy based. And I think that's really cool that you're doing that and
Thank
showing
you.
a true perspective into the gym, not just you lifting weights and then flexing. It's showing a different view. I
Thank
think it's a
you.
lot of fun.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. That's why I wanted to, of course, talk to you, because I think it's really cool what you're doing. And I've seen that you've skyrocketed with your views and your followers. And there's a reason why people like to see that. And I think it's super cool. And I'm just honored to be able to talk to you, because it's cool seeing that, and being able to talk face to face is awesome. And that's really why I wanted to talk to you, because I wanted to tell you that I think it's awesome. I
Thank
love it.
you.
Of course.
Yeah. I like showing people that the gym is a very positive place, and in my opinion that's the best way of inspiring people to have an interest in their own fitness and in their own health, is making sure that like the comedic aspect, like that wasn't, I didn't start doing that on purpose. It's just kind of like how it has fallen into. And I want to show people that the gym is a family. It's a community. People trust each other, people watch out for each other. And I mean, I had a guy 2 days ago, I was shoulder pressing. I had never met him before. I had never seen him in the gym. I failed getting the weight up in order to do a single shoulder press. And he walks over and he was like, "Hey, let me spot you." And I'm like, this guy is so nice. Like, but people like that, like I've never met this guy. He doesn't know who I am. Like he had zero clue that I'm even on social media. He was just like,
Uh-huh.
that chick needs help. I'm going to go help her. And every single person in there has done that or has been given that treatment from someone else in the gym. And I want to make sure that people understand like that is the norm in a gym. It's not something to be afraid of. It's a community to put yourself into. So
Yeah.
my content is very geared towards like trying to make people feel comfortable, trying to make people laugh. Like I'm a jokester. I tease people all the time. And I want to make sure that that is something that people go into a gym expecting, not the other way around, because there's so much negative content out there, like it's overdone. And it's something that people like to focus on because they want the drama and they want the tea and they want all the, frou-frou like camera stunts and whatever. But realistically speaking, like that's not the community that's out there. My goal is to put out the positive so that people start seeing that and start feeling comfortable coming to the gym.
So what made you want to get on social media and put that kind of content out there? Was there somebody you saw that was doing it, or what kind of pushed you to do
Honestly,
that?
if you've been with me long enough, you know that my page did not start off as a fitness page. It started during COVID and I was stuck at home and the only thing that I could do was art. And just started posting my art and started like sketching people, and people started following me from there. And then once the gym started opening up, I was like, this is kind of cool. I've seen people make fitness content. And so I started kind of trying to find my niche there, put my art on the back burner. I didn't have time for it anymore. And then it just kind of evolved into this. I didn't get on TikTok and just be like, I'm going to be a fitness influencer. It just kind of fell into that. And I'm glad it did, because now I have a purpose and I have meaning and I have things that I want to say and ideas that I want to put out using my channel, using my TikTok, and make this positive experience.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And plus, you're trying to get to 200,000 so you can crush that watermelon.
Yeah, I got to 5K on Instagram the other day.
Okay.
I was like, yes, halfway to crushing a watermelon.
Yeah, because you're almost at 190,000 on TikTok, right?
Yeah, something like that. I think it's 189 point something or other. It's almost 90. I'm like, ooh, it's getting there.
Getting close.
Getting close. I'm gonna have to buy a watermelon. I'm investing in you guys.
Yep. And so I think that's another cool way to kind of get some engagement,
Yeah.
because clearly it's working for you.
I made that first, the first thigh video was just someone made a comment about my new haircut and new hairstyle, which my hairdresser did an amazing job on, and I freaking love it. And he was like, that haircut's got me in a chokehold. And I was like, haha, this is gonna be like, it's gonna get 100 views. Like, it's not gonna get any views on this video. And I basically said, like, I don't put people in chokeholds, I crush skulls with my thighs. And everyone was like, oh my god, I need so it wasn't even on purpose, but I'll roll with the punches. I don't know.
Hey, as long as you're having fun, that's what matters.
I think it's hilarious. Some of those comments, I'm like, oh my god.
TikTok's a weird place, and as I'm
so
creeping
funny.
into it, I'm learning that.
Yeah, especially like as a female on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, some of those, I try and take everything as a joke. Like, anything that everyone says to me, I'm like, it may be said in a derogatory fashion or a negative fashion, but I'm like, but if it's funny, I'm gonna laugh at it. Like, that's kind of my mindset, is like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna take it as a joke. And some of these comments have been absolutely hilarious. They are just so outrageous and so funny, and I'm just sitting on my phone, like, scrolling and laughing the entire time with all these, like, these comments about, like, the skull crushers and the muscle mommies. And I've had a few people reach out and ask to buy my shoes, like my used shoes. I'm like, that's hilarious. I had 3 people do that to me in the last, like, month. Whack. I don't know why, but it's hilarious. So yeah, everything is just, it's funny though.
It is.
I'm like, this is so weird and outrageous that it's turned the corner and become hilarious.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that you can see it that way and it doesn't scare you off.
Yeah.
It's good that you can see a comedic sense in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it helps.
Yeah. And I've gotten to the point where if I find a comment that I don't like, I'm like, I just scroll past it. Like, I don't care. It's, if it doesn't serve me and benefit me, then I don't care what you're saying, kind of thing. But 95% of the content that I put out and the comments that I get, it's like positive and funny, and I take it as a joke and I roll with the punches, and I think it's absolutely hilarious what some people are willing to type out on a keyboard.
People are brave. It's crazy, but it's fun because TikTok is its own community, and it's not like any other social media platform out there.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very interesting.
And so I don't know how it got that way, but it's just, there's nothing like it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. That's where I'm based out of. So
yeah. So what's your goal with the social, of course, now that you're an influencer? I don't know, what some people don't like being called an influencer, but
it's weird. I got recognized once in a line at one of the dark sport events. One of the guys in the line was like, I was talking to him about social media. I was like, are you on social media? You look like a bodybuilder. Let me follow you because I want to support. And he was like, he was already following me. And he goes, yeah, I recognized you. And I'm like, what? What? I was like, I didn't understand. Like, I didn't know how to react to him because it was just so weird. I don't think of myself as an influencer. Because I see these people like Lean Beef Patty and like Sarah Safari, and they've got multiple millions of people and they're recognized anywhere and everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not them. I'm just like this small little person dinking around on TikTok. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then some people, like, I got recognized. And I'm like, oh my God, am I an influencer? Am I there yet? So it's so weird. But I like having the ability to like talk to people and share my opinion on a wider base, because I feel like more people need positive influences in their life. And I don't want to be drama, and I don't want to be negative. I want to put out as much positive, funny content as I can and make people as comfortable as possible. And that's kind of what my channel is. And like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be like, haha, muscle, but most of the time it's like, I have something to say, I have something funny, I have something important, I have something educational, and I put it out in the most positive manner that I can.
Yeah. That's awesome. But do you have like an ultimate goal with it? Like some of these gym influencers, their goal is to open their own gym, or is there any type of
Yeah.
goal like that for you?
So I work with a chiropractor and a massage therapist. I'm an exercise rehab specialist at my facility. It's called Wolfpack Wellness in Newbury Park, California, just north of Los Angeles. And it's this 3-person, really, really tiny like wellness center. And we focus on muscular rehab, chronic pain, making you feel better however we can, like mental and physical, whatever we can do to help people, we do it in that tiny little facility. My goal with the owner of that facility is to expand, open a gym, have a YouTube channel, be able to educate people on how to manage their own chronic pain so that they don't have to pay someone else to do it. So we've been making YouTube videos, and we've been putting out like all of the exercise content that I've put out in the last few months has been like us walking through like, how do we manage back pain? How are we going to make a video? How are the people going to be able to understand what we're trying to say to them and apply it to their day-to-day life? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So our goal at Wolfpack Wellness is to open a gym. Yes, is to educate people, but like make sure that people can get out of pain, even if they don't have like the resources to go to a gym. Like at home training is fantastic. If they have YouTube, like they can then learn how to take care of themselves and get out of that chronic pain and kind of like fix their own injuries through the content that we put out. So we want to reach as many people as possible and help everyone we can.
That's awesome.
Thank
That
you.
it's an awesome goal to have, and it's such a I love that it's not, oh, I want to open my own gym. It's something that you're wanting to change people's lives. People that, like you said, don't have those resources.
Hmm.
I think that's awesome that you're trying to do that. That's an amazing goal to have.
Thank you. It's
Mm.
a little daunting at times.
Well,
We're
shoot,
like
with
5 to 10 years away from that, but we'll get there eventually.
at the rate you're going and with the community you've grown, I mean, I see it as a real possibility.
Yeah, it's not an option for me not to do this. Like this is kind of how I do things. It's like as soon as I envision something and decide I want to do it, it's not an option that's like there's no way that that's going to fail, right? I will do everything in my power to make sure that this facility opens and that this YouTube channel and the content I put out reaches as many people as possible. And like I could care less how many people follow me, like that's just a number. I care
Yeah,
about the people that follow me, the number doesn't matter, but the people that follow me want to get out of chronic pain or find some sort of enjoyment in the funny content that I put out. So every single person that follows me and that is affected by me, I love every single one of them. I want to educate every single one of them on how they can make their lives better.
that's awesome.
Thank you.
It to me again, I think it's awesome to talk to you and really get to talk to you besides just seeing you on TikTok, because who you are on TikTok is awesome, but being able to talk to you now and hear everything, I mean, that makes me have so much more respect for you. And I think it's so cool the message that you're trying to put out there and your overall goals. I think that's amazing.
Thank
And you
you.
deserve every follower you've got plus millions more because it's awesome.
Thank you.
Of course. But I, like I said, I love the message. I hope a lot more people see that and they don't just see you as a gym influencer or bodybuilder or anything like that. Because if you deep dive into you've got a good message.
I'm a softie.
Hard on the outside, soft on the inside.
Exactly. I'm muscular, but I care. Uh,
But hey, that's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside, right?
exactly.
So you said your next competition is a year away?
I'm thinking about a year away. I want to give myself some time. I was gonna do a competition actually. What day is it? 6 days from now was going to be my next competition. But I built a team and I got like 5 people together. It was 3 girls and 2 guys, and we were gonna go and do this OCB competition up in San Leandro in San Francisco. And it just like it fell through. For some people it was finances, for others it was the diet, and one of the guys tore his kneecap literally to like shreds, and he's like he's in a boot now and can't move. And so we were like, okay, let's pull out, take some time, reestablish our bases, like give ourselves some time to grow. So we did about half of prep. We did a 16, we planned on a 16-week prep, did about half of that, and then people started dropping out. And so we're kind of backing up a little bit, taking a sec. Probably around this time next year, we'll probably go and try to do the same OCB competition, which is it's OCB is like a natural bodybuilding show. The first show that I did was NPC, which is untested, and I was like tempted to call most of those girls daddy when they walked on stage because they were freaking massive. I'm like cowed by them. So we were like, let's do an natty one, and then we'll think about going on NPC stage again. But for now, we'll do a tested girl. It was crazy. But yeah.
So you said that one was untested. So if they wanted to use
so NPC, you can technically, like, they don't test for steroids, they don't test for performance enhancing drugs, they don't test for anything. Whereas OCB, you take like a urine test and what's it called? I don't remember the name. They test you on a few different aspects and like make sure that you've never done steroids or anything like that. No performance enhancing drugs. And in my head, I was like, my first competition, I was like, I'm going against the beasts, I'm gonna win. Did not win. So, but it was a good like way of seeing like what exactly I could expect from the 2 different stages. Like if I were to do performance enhancing drugs in the future, this is what I would look for in the people doing that, right?
Yeah.
And then this is OCB is like, what can I actually achieve without them, which is kind of the line that I'm going on right now. Like in today's bodybuilding world, most people are on performance enhancing drugs. It's like the norm. Like almost everyone you see on social media is on stuff. And I'm like, not enough people, in my opinion, try and go as far as they can without that stuff, that I want to be that person. And I also want to be like that kind of bodybuilder or that kind of influencer that shows people what you can do without performance enhancing drugs, because some people think it's cheating, other people think it's like whatever, and I'm just kind of like, but I could do it without it. I could just like go and work out and do this naturally.
Yeah, because there's people like Noel, of course, has came out and said that he's not natural.
Yeah.
And then man, I can't remember this other guy's name. He's a big guy on TikTok, just has a mustache, and I mean he's just
those guys are so big.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I'm really bad with names though. Like I can't remember my own name half the time.
But he's came out and said he's not natural, and so that makes me glad that a lot of people are coming out saying that they're not. They're being honest and transparent. But in my opinion, whatever makes you happy.
And I've I've been that chick, like before I started bodybuilding, before I started caring for like my health and nutrition, I was like, I want to look like that chick. And I had no clue if they were on anything. I didn't care. I was like, here's an unrealistic standard, like Kim Kardashian kind of person. Like you can't be Kim Kardashian unless you get a ton of plastic put in your body,
Yeah.
right? Like you cannot. But people look at Kim Kardashian and they want to look like that naturally, which is like, they're two different spectrums. Like if you want to look like that and do the plastic surgery, like look like that and do the plastic surgery, whatever you want. I'm non-judgmental, but I want to be that person that's like, I'm natural. I'm something that you can achieve without plastic surgery, without drugs, without whatever you want to say. Like I want to be that natural line that women can look up to and be like, I can literally look like that without taking steroids.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at, because I've been that chick where I've seen bodybuilders and been like, I want to look like them, and then 2 months later they're like, I'm not natural. I'm like, dang it. So yeah, and I love that people are being open about it nowadays, and I love that people are coming out and saying that, because it makes it so much more realistic for the women who look up to these bodybuilders and these fitness influencers and like realistic expectations, right?
Yeah.
Looking at these people 2-3 years ago gave me so much body dysmorphia, and then recognizing that like they're on a different level, they're completely in another world than me right now, has kind of built that like expectation that I can look how I look and accept that and love that and still appreciate these girls, but understand that I'm not going to get there, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with the performance enhancing stuff.
So you said your goal is to get to your peak where you are and then possibly go into the performance enhancing?
Maybe. It's a no for me right now. It depends on how far I get and like what stage of life I'm in, you know? Because like with that kind of stuff, there's side effects and there's drawbacks, and you know, it's not really all that well researched in females yet. Like there's research, but like not enough that I'd like trust it. And I'm huge on like female health and like awareness of what it is to be a female, and it's just not something that I feel comfortable in trusting yet, you know? So in 10 years, when we have a ton more research, there's always going to be more stuff coming out and more stuff being tested. And maybe there will be a safer option and a more realistic option than what's out right now. But for right now, it's a no.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's good that you're looking out for your own health and other people's health, because like you said, there's not a ton of research.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sadly most of the research is on guys. Well, because 95% of the people that use it are guys, but you know, us 5% want to know more.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm like you said, I'm sure with time there will be more research. It's just you're in uncharted territories.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it is getting more popular. Like the whole muscle mommy trend, I feel like it's going to be a good step forward for females and female bodybuilders and female fitness influencers, because we are getting more exposure, and it's more of a normal thing to like see women with muscles now. And I love that, because it's like the healthiest thing that you can do is put muscle on your body. And so having this little tiny flip on TikTok of like, here's some muscle mommies, and people are like, damn, that's hot. Okay, cool. Let's go with that. Then we'll get more exposure and we'll get more research and we'll get more stuff on our end as females, as opposed to just like, the guys tried it, it should be safe.
Yeah, I think it's funny how big the muscle mommies have gotten, because first it was the hot tattooed women, and now it's slowly fading more into the muscle mommies.
Yeah. Oh, I've been so tempted to get a tattoo just to be on that wall.
I've seen. Yeah, well, they put Iron Sanctuary on the wall.
I know, he was on my podcast. I'm kind of pissed. I'm like, he got on before I did. Damn. All right.
I didn't know you had him on your podcast.
Yeah, he was. What episode was he? I think he was episode 13. Like very, 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 very new. Very Like, I think he was one of our first, he was our second guest on. And he talked on mental health and what it means to like use the gym as therapy, and kind of went through his entire story, which, you know, he like sprinkles on his TikTok every once in a while, but like hearing it from start to finish was just absolutely amazing.
I'll have to check that out because I love him. He is so
Yeah.
funny, and I
He's
love his how he can go from gym inspiration to mental health to the thirst traps.
Oh yeah, and his
So
dresses,
funny.
oh my gosh. No, he's absolutely wonderful. Like he supported me through my first competition. Like he DM'd me and he was like, "You're doing a great job." And I was like, "Oh my God, why are you DMing me?" But he gave me advice, and he was just like, "Here's what you need to like look out for. The first competition is always the hardest." And he was like in my corner, like semi coaching me through my TikTok DMs. And I'm like, "What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here." No, he's absolutely amazing and just so supportive of the people around him. And like, he doesn't care if you're a small influencer or a huge influencer, like he's supporting, he's in your corner at all times. I love that man.
That's awesome. I've been following him for a while just because I love his content.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that he's having his second baby, I love the baby updates.
Oh my gosh, the little, oh, I'm so excited for him.
I
That's gonna
love
be
how
so
he'll bring
amazing.
he'll bring out little things. He's like, baby's this big.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy that. I think it's a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I love that he can be transparent with his mental health. I think that's really cool because not
Yeah.
enough people are doing that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I think I'm actually wearing his hoodie right now.
Dang.
Yeah.
We're just giving him free publicity.
I know. He's gonna get like 10 more followers from us.
For me, maybe one. We don't have many.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Hey, we're trying.
Yeah. Everyone started with one follower.
Oh yeah. We've done pretty well over here. I started, like I said, this is episode 11 for me, and we're at 50 subscribers on YouTube.
Nice.
And so not too bad, but I appreciate it. And our TikTok is slowly growing. I think we're up to 40 followers on that page. On my personal, almost 400. But I'm really trying to, with every episode, make it better. And so
Nice.
learning new programs, learning how to use Premiere better, and trying to spend every second I'm not working to really try to grind this out and make it good.
Nice. That's a good goal. Just, I think the one piece of advice that I give anyone that's like trying to start like the TikToks or anything like that is like be consistent with your posts.
Yeah.
With TikTok, I'm like, even if it's like a B quality post, like flexing in a mirror to an audio, something like that. Like if I don't have time to make a quality video, I still put out some sort of content that day. Like consistency is key. The more you post, the better. The more people that see you, the more people that are going to follow you. Just be present in
Yeah.
anything that you do.
That's one thing I need to be better about. I'm getting better about posting clips of the podcast to our podcast channel and uploading YouTube shorts because I know shorts is growing. They're getting a lot
Yeah.
of traction there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get there, Instagram Reels, but my personal, I work Monday through Friday. I work 11 hours a day. And
Dang.
so whenever I get home, I don't have much time. I mean, like I said, I'm either editing or shooting the podcast. And so it's hard to kind of post that kind of be more consistent on my personal page and do that. But I want to get into it. Just hard with very little time.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you kind of have to balance, like personal work life, influencer life, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you love it, you'll find a way.
Yeah.
If
And
if you value it, you'll find a way.
I'm
It's
falling in love with it.
yeah.
I love getting the feedback of it. I love whenever people comment. I love whenever people that have watched it will shoot me a DM.
Mhm.
I mean, that makes my entire day. That'll make me smile ear to ear for the rest of the day. And so I'm falling more in love with it as the days go on. And so I'm hoping eventually I'll learn to balance. I'm just right now stuck in the grinding mode of making it as good as possible. So I'm constantly watching YouTube. I'm playing with Adobe, trying to teach myself to make it better.
Yeah.
And I think I just need to kind of balance that out.
You've caught the bug. Welcome to the world.
It's addicting because I genuinely love it. It's so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
And so it's something that I'm slowly becoming more and more passionate about.
That's
And so,
awesome. You'll
I
succeed.
appreciate it.
I can see it.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm trying real hard, and I'm reaching out. Of course, reached out to you, and then have you ever heard of Girk the Turk on TikTok?
The name sounds familiar, but
He's a
I
he's a
don't know.
comedian on TikTok, and
Maybe.
he's got 500,000 followers, and I'm in talks with him right now about coming on.
Yeah,
And so
nice. That's awesome.
appreciate it, but I'm excited because I love that. Because of course, even with you, it's scary to reach out to someone so big. It's
Yeah.
terrifying, and it's reassuring to me to be meeting people like y'all that are so down to earth and nice, and it's fun, and it makes me feel more welcome into doing this
Yeah.
because it's
I
intimidating.
yeah, I reached out to one of my favorite influencers before I started the podcast or anything like it, and I was like, hey, I literally just DM'd him on Instagram, and I was like, you're probably never going to see this, but like, I really appreciate your content. And he has, 50, 60, whatever K on Instagram, and has a podcast and has a whole like class about fitness and clients, and like, he's set, right? He's an influencer, he's set up. And I was just like, you're never going to see this, but I'm going to Salt Lake City in like a month, and I want to buy you coffee. And he responded, he was like, I'm so down. When, where, what time? Like, and I'm like, and so anytime anyone DMs me, I'm like, my favorite influencer responded to me, and I know how important and like how much that impacted me. And so anytime anyone DMs me, like, I want to be that same level of like humble and be able to reach out and be able to talk to people. And I have continuous chats going on my Instagram with people that are like asking me for advice or just like needed to talk to someone. And I love being there for people. And someone did it for me, I want to do it for other people, like just pass that karma on. And someone somewhere out there will be impacted by what I say to them or how I treat them, and they'll take that and give it to someone else. And it's just this ripple effect of like positivity. And I love that we have the power to do that.
That's awesome. I love that. That is amazing that you do that. Because a lot of people, whenever they get big, they don't do that. They don't reach out and they don't respond. And the TikTok community, especially, it seems a lot different. A lot of people do acknowledge and respond, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that you do that.
I feel like TikTok is made from people, and I love that. Like, it's not influencers. Most people on TikTok who have any following whatsoever are like, don't call me an influencer. Like, they don't want to be called an influencer. They are people who have the knowledge or the charisma or the heart to like be able to reach out and like touch people and be that positive influence. And every single TikTok person that I have talked to or communicated with, if they have more or less followers than I do, they're all the same. They're all super supportive, very responsive, very like invested in everything that I do and everything that their followers are doing. And it's absolutely an amazing community.
I love that. And that's what, like I said, people reaching out, it feels more like a community. And I think it's awesome that you and others are doing that, because it really does make people feel better, because knowing that they have the chance to talk to their favorite influencer and stuff like that. And I think it's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
It is. So, of course, you've had like Iron Sanctuary on there. Have you had any other big people on your podcast?
I had what's his name? Sorry, I'm gonna look at his name because I'm totally blanking and I suck at this. My first ever guest star, his name was Mark. He's a guy based out of Canada. His Instagram is Training Strong Women, and he's a very positive trainer. And he focuses on women's training and education, and he's very like, do what you can to make yourself feel better. Like, he's not in it for like the aesthetics of personal training. He's in it for like the mental and physical health of personal training. So he was my first guest star, and we were talking about body positivity, because I made a post saying like body positivity isn't an excuse to neglect your health, and people were either like very supportive of that statement or very mean about it. But he wanted to debate it because, you know, in a 60-second clip you can't really like explain everything that you mean on TikTok. And so he was like, let's do an episode and like let's talk about it, because he was kind of in that same like you can be body positive but like care for your health as well, and like you can love your body but treat it correctly, you know, that kind of thing. So he was my first guest star, and then I had Iron Sanctuary, and then I had a girl, her name is Michelle Rains. She's the co-host on the Key Nutrition podcast, and she talked about like more of the mental and emotional health as opposed to like the physical health portion of training. And she does what's called breath work, which is like a kind of like meditation, just a little bit like she does guided breath work, and she basically pulls people into like being able to feel the emotions that they've stuffed down and like uncork that bottle and just like let everything out. And so she talked a lot about like emotional health as well. So we've had a few really cool guest stars. And it's just been an amazing experience, because every single person that I've reached out to has been like, oh, hell yeah, we're on your podcast. Like, when and where?
That's awesome. So I think that's so cool. And especially once y'all go to video, I'm not sure if you've seen on Spotify now, you can put your video on Spotify.
Yeah?
And
I'm going to have to play with that.
Yeah. And so through the Spotify for Podcasters app, it'll let you attach a video to the audio. That way,
that's cool.
If someone wants to just pull up the podcast, they can either keep it on going in the background, or they can have it going with video, as you can kind of see.
That's
so it adds
cool.
Video.
Nice.
And so that's one thing that I didn't know they had. But so whenever y'all start going to video, that's one thing I would look out for, because if someone just wants to listen to it, but they want to see something that you said, but they want to see your facial reaction or something, it lets you put the video on there now.
That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to start doing that. I'm gonna drop $700 at a camera.
I'm sure it'll be worth it.
It will be worth it. I just have to like justify it to myself.
Yeah. And it, of course, you wanted to use that for vlogging and for the gym and all that as well, right?
Yeah, it's going to be multifaceted. Like the educational videos that I'm doing in my office are going to be probably filmed with that. Like I'm filming them on my phone right now, and the sound quality is like not it at all. So it'll be a bit more like professional, and that's kind of why I'm like looking into getting a camera like this, because I do want to put out like not only the quality of education, but the quality of like video and sound, so that people will stay engaged and stay listening and be willing to take the time to educate themselves.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Like I said, right now I just use the phone, but I get why you don't want to. The quality is not the greatest, and then like you said, storage.
Yeah. My phone is constantly yelling at me.
That's the way mine was. That's why I had to buy can't remember if I bought the 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes worth of storage, because I just kept blowing past it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but like
love it.
Camera or like terabyte of
yeah, the camera kind of pays for itself.
Yeah, especially if I can like, so since it's going into my business and stuff like that, it's a tax write-off, so like I might as well.
That's one thing I was of course, with all this, I've put a good amount of money into it so far, and all of my family keeps telling me that you need to do an LLC, that way you can write this off.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know the first steps to do all that. I'm trying to teach myself.
Yeah, having the benefit of having an LLC is like you are protected if anyone, if you say something and someone doesn't like it and they want to like sue you for it on the podcast,
Uh-huh.
you're protected through the LLC. It is a business, so you can write things off. Like there's a few different benefits to having it, as well as like it's really cool to have an LLC.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually pretty simple to, I don't know what state you're in, but
Texas, so it
yeah,
could be different.
yeah, it's look up how do I make an LLC and there will be a blog post on it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking into it because we're wanting to start a shop here soon.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's one thing I think you need to get into. Profit on the muscle mommy stuff. Do a merch line.
I want to do merch. I talked to Iron Sanctuary about that. He's like, he was really supportive. He's like, this is the company that I do it from. This is how I do it. Like, this is how you make merch. And I'm like, but what would I make merch on? There's already Muscle Mommy merch out there. I might
Yeah.
do Skull Crusher merch. Maybe.
Might as well profit on it while it's getting clicks.
Yeah. I have to figure out how to do that. It's another thing that I want to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way I see it is it don't hurt to try.
Yeah. Put a little bit of
So,
money in it and,
yeah.
easy.
And if it doesn't work out, all it is a good learning experience.
Exactly.
And so I think you should go for it personally.
I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
I'll definitely support you and buy some.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Like I said, I like you as a creator. And
Thank you.
of course, getting to talk to you, seeing how good of a heart you have, I would 100% support you.
Oh, thank you. I'll probably ask you for some ideas for merch then.
Well, I've got my guy that is doing my merch. So if you need help with logos and all that,
Oh,
I can help
sweet.
out.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Hell yeah.
happy to help out. And then with the Spotify stuff, or the videoing of the podcast, like doing clips, I had to figure out how to make my own clips off the podcast because nobody talks about it.
Yeah, I'm learning Adobe right now and I'm like tearing my hair out trying to learn that stuff.
I'm in the same place.
Oh, it's so difficult. They don't make it easy for you.
No, they can't.
I know, they're like, you want to be an influencer, you have to work hard. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, I was told this is easy.
I thought I just recorded one video and I was done.
Yeah, I thought I just like pointed a camera and got 1 million subscribers or something. Like, no,
Yeah.
there's so much behind the scenes going on.
That's what I try to explain to people. Because with that podcast, whenever I had 3 cameras going, trying to edit a 2-hour long session down to an hour with 3 cameras, like that's not easy.
I'd be a 1 camera person. Like I can't, like, getting the sound to match up, like all that's I would tear my hair out. I can't.
It's not fun.
No.
But as I'm learning it, it's getting easier. And I'm hoping once I get good enough at it, I want to be able to help other people with it. That way
That
they
would
don't
be
go
a cool
through
YouTube series.
Yeah. I don't want people
Yeah.
pulling their hair out like I do. Or staying up till 2-3 a.m. trying to learn it. I want to be able to help people out because it really is so much fun when you're not stressing about that.
Yeah.
Everything else is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Reaching out to people and getting the comments and getting feedback, that's so much fun and it makes it all worth it. But
yeah,
if I can help people skip that stressful step, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's my goal, is to, once I get good at it, try to put some more videos out there to simplify it, help people out. And 'cause there's not much out there. I think everybody just kind of learns it and does it on their own. They don't put much out there.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun once I finally learn it.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm an open book. I just roll with the punches. I don't know.
I'm a heavy talker, so I can go forever. So I want to make sure I didn't stop you from saying something, because I'll just keep going.
Oh, you're good. Steamroll me. We're good. Just keep going. It gives me an
But-
excuse to breathe.
But I just wanted to make sure that way I'm not holding you up and wanted to say something. But let's see, how long have we been going? I don't even know. I think about an hour.
Oh, dang. Almost, yeah, about an hour. That went by really fast.
That did.
Dang.
Yeah, that's the issue I have with all this is because we'll record for 2 hours and we're like, oh my God, we're
Yeah,
only releasing an hour.
I have to like put a timer on. I'm like, only half an hour. No one wants to listen to you for more than then. Like, get your information out and get off. Like, do not.
Yeah, that's one
Uh,
thing we're trying to get under control is time management because we just talk and forget how long we go.
I mean, some people, Joe Rogan has like 5-hour long podcast sessions. Like,
Yeah.
some people very much so enjoy that. I just have topics that are like boring, like creatine. And no one wants to listen to creatine for more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't get how he does it. That's
I-
so long.
If you're interested in a subject, like he researches the living heck out of every single podcast, like star or guest that he has on, and he dives so deep into that stuff. Like he's a different kind of person. Like he's very, very educated. He's very, very like he wants to have those conversations. I'd probably go 5 hours on a podcast with him.
Oh yeah, that's one dude I would love to meet.
Yeah.
Because he's met so many people and has so much knowledge. And
Yeah.
so I couldn't imagine that'd be an interesting one to meet.
Mhm. He's on my list.
We'll get there one day.
One of these days.
But I don't want to hold you up for too much longer because it's already been an hour. But
Is there anything else you want to ask?
I think I've got majority of what I wanted to ask out. Is there anything that you wanted to ask or anything you wanted to say to the world?
You put out your podcasts on Mondays, right?
Yes.
And then what's the full name of your podcast?
Clocked Out Chronicles.
Clocked Out Chronicles. Cool. And then what is your Instagram, TikTok, all your handles? Where can people find you?
Instagram is at the Chase Morris. TikTok, Chase Morris 806, and YouTube, of course, Clocked Out Chronicles, where we post the podcast every Monday and shorts probably 3 or 4 times a week.
Awesome.
And this episode will go live. Won't be tomorrow. It'll be the 17th for me.
Nice. Sweet.
So, and then
Cute.
for my audience, do you want to give out your handles and where they can find you?
Yeah, my podcast is The Muscle and the Mommy. It is on Spotify and Amazon Music. You can find me basically on everything through Shayle Valhalla. It is spelled weird, ShayleValhalla, because most people can't spell my name nor pronounce it. And that's okay. But that's my handle for like everything.
Gotcha.
Mostly because it's the only username on all platforms that isn't taken.
Well, I'll make sure to link you in the description. That way it's easier to find.
Perfect. I'll link you as well when I post mine.
Well, I appreciate it. But I really do appreciate you doing this. It meant the world to me because, like I said, I think it's awesome to be able to really get to know you and see who you are behind the TikTok. Not just see you through TikTok, but talk to you face to face. And it's been awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you inviting me on the podcast. This is a fun fact, my first podcast that I've ever been invited to. So
really,
I was really excited for this. Yeah.
Well,
I was like, oh my gosh, I've made it.
Well, I'm happy I could be the first one you got invited on because you are my first big guest. So
thank you. This is exciting.
Oh, you have no idea how excited I've been for this. I've been talking to everybody about it, how excited I've been. Like I said, it means the world to me. It really does. And so
thank you.
It's pretty special to me, I think, because like I said, you're my first big guest and you said yes to coming on. And it's means even more getting to really know you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for inviting me on. Don't be afraid to talk to people and invite more people on, because a lot of people like surprisingly say yes. And this world is full of very, very kind and amazing people.
Well, I'm definitely going to, because you gave me a lot of hope for that, and I appreciate it a lot.
That's
But-
awesome.
But like I said, with the videoing and everything with your podcast or the clips and anything, if you do need any help, you've got me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM if you need any help. And if I can help, I'm happy to help.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But hey, try to have a good rest of your night, and thank you again.
Yeah, you as well. Have a great rest of your night. I will see you later.
All right. Hey, thank you again. You have a good night.
You too. Bye.